Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, June 18th. I want to do an update for the core levels and want to show you a couple of charts that I traded today with the Autotrader. So this first one is a PA account, and I basically had a $500 goal and traded very selectively on a Super Renko 10, one full NQ contract, and the target was, I hit the goal of 500 plus some 565. And here is the PA account down here. This is also a Super Renko 10, and I qualified for another evaluation account, or I passed another eval account. This is on a Super Renko 10. This suits my style of trading, which is basically hit and run, modified scalping, call it what you will. But this kind of trading on the Autotrader works really well because you can use these buttons to bring your stop to the high or low of a bar. Like right after you enter, as soon as it goes against you, you can bring the stop in. That's why you see these trades here. I'm just not willing to take any meaningful losses on these trades. And so that's what this is all about. And then this is essentially the same thing, but I had already had some profit in the eval account, so I only needed to go to 2350. Here's the performance report for this account. This was 59% profitable with a profit factor of 2.6. The average winning trade was 108, average losing trade was 65, so pretty decent. Anyway, the point is, no matter what style your trading is, the Autotrader can accommodate you. If you're a hit and run trader, a scalper, or you like to hold for bigger swings, like from here to here in the core, trading a larger time frame, or even a time frame like this, you can set it up that way, and now with the strategy analyzer you can tweak your settings. Whether you're a scalper or any other kind of trader, I still use the core to help guide my entries. Here I started trading to catch this last bit of run down to the lower midpoint right here, and then still went short a few times thinking it might go to the expected low, but then when it double bottomed out here and made it above the midpoint here, I suspected it was going to go to the point of control and took all these trades all the way up to the point of control. So regardless of the kind of trader you are, the core levels are still useful to get a good take on the direction of the market. Okay, here's the core levels on the NQ. This green shaded area is the open. The market opened and sold down to the expected low in the first hour, and then rallied back up to the point of control just past the London session, which is this shaded yellow area. A little bit of a pullback to the first buy zone, the upper buy zone, and then rallied all the way to the expected high of the first hour and just shy of the expected high in the second hour, where the market rolled over, went to the lower sell zone, and then attempted to rally again but made a lower high here, and then came down to the London open, the open of the session, and then down to the midpoint, back up to the sell zone, and into the close. So the point of this is, again, the levels, the accuracy of the levels you can see here for yourself. This is actually the 2 o'clock hour here. The lower midpoint rallied up to the lower sell zone, and then all the way down to the expected low for the day, and back up to test the open. So this is quite frequent. That's why we have the BWT Globex levels indicator, because so often the London session and the US Open are areas of support and resistance, and very important to have them on your charts, as you can see. Here's what the NQ would look like on Renko bars. These are a smaller Renko bar than what I was showing before. It's more tradable. So again, trading off the core levels, this is 5 minutes after the open. This would have been a great trade, and signals from the trend bar from the expected low up to the point of control, and just great signals all the way around on the Renko bars if you're a Renko bar trader. Here's the core levels on the crude oil, and this little green shaded area is the open. It came up to the expected high and then some, and then made a slightly lower high, and then rolled over big time all the way down to the low mid 3, past the extended low to the low mid 3, which is right here. And again, the accuracy stopping at these levels, and then rallied up to the London Open here, and then up to the Open. Okay, next is the E-mini S&P. Here's the Open right here. This sold down to the low mid 1 in the first hour and rallied all the way up to the expected high, to the high mid 1, the expected high, and then the market rolled over, came all the way down to the lower sell hot zone, where it went sideways for a little while and then tested the London Open, and then down to the low midpoint below the point of control here, back up to the lower sell zone. I want to talk about the stats right here. Okay, this is the percentage of the time that levels were hit. So if you're trading the ES, the high mid 1 has been achieved 82% of the time, and the low mid 1 65% of the time from the open price in the first hour. So from the open, and your signal would of course be discretionary, your entry, but if you are leaning to the long side, then you've been right 82.6% of the time, or to the low mid 1 65% of the time. This is going back 30 days, which is 23 sessions. Now if I go back 90 days, this is what it looks like. Before I show you 90 days, so here's your open down to low mid 1 on the downside, and then all the way up to high mid 1 on the upside, which is right here. So these bread and butter trades are basically from the POC down to the midpoint, the POC to the midpoint here, or low midpoint to high midpoint. These are really sizable swings, and the probabilities trading between these ranges is pretty strong. And then you have your developing POC, which gives you an idea of which side of the market to be on. Okay, so let's go back to 90 days and look at the stats. Okay, the stats, the high mid 1 is 72% of the time, and the low midpoint is 59.6 or 60% of the time. So the core levels, just extremely good accuracy. The core levels are 20% off through the month of June, and the Autotrader is 25% off through the month of June. The details are in the description below. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.